Subject, the president is also going to talk about getting tougher on Iran at the United Nations. But this week, he had the opportunity to reimpose sanctions that were lifted as part of the nuclear deal. He did do that. So for all his talk about tearing up the agreement, I know he has to recertify in October whether or not they're complying with it. For all his talk about tearing up the agreement, in fact, isn't he going to live with it and try to find other ways to confront Iran on other fronts?
Well, we have to see what live with it means, right? Well, live with it can't be giving this regime cover to develop a nuclear capability. And so a lot of things have to happen immediately. Rigorous enforcement of that agreement. It is under enforced now. We know Iran has already violated parts of the agreement.
But the IAEA says that they're complying with it, sir.
The IAEA has identified, and we have identified, some of these breaches that Iran has then corrected. But what does that tell you about Iranian behavior? They're not just walking up to the line on the agreement, they're crossing the line at times. So there has to be much more rigorous enforcement of the deal, and we have to recognize the fundamental flaws in this deal. It is, as the president said, it is the worst deal. It gave all these benefits to the Iranian regime up front, and these benefits now they're using to foment this humanitarian catastrophe in the greater Middle East, to this broad range of destructive behavior, including support for terrorist organizations like Hezbollah, support for proxy forces like the 80% of the effective fighters fighting on the side of the brutal, murderous Assad regime in Syria are Iranian proxies. And so we have to recognize the broad range of Iranian destabilizing behavior, and we can't allow this deal to enable that. Their missile programs, for example, the way they are seeding this Iranian network with more and more destructive capability that places all of their neighbors at risk.
I want to turn